Hello everybody, Roger Sherman with Ecocentro. This is Thursday, July 4th. Happy 4th of July to all our American clients. And this is our fifth update on Hurricane Beryl. It's important to note I'm not a meteorologist, I'm not a weather professional, and I don't pretend to be. We get our information from several resources, including, of course, the National Hurricane Center. We also subscribe to windy.com, and also we follow several YouTube channels. We particularly like one by Levy Cohen, which is called Tropical Tidbits. He's very professional, has excellent information. According to the latest forecast from the National Hurricane Center, Beryl seems to be weakening from a Category 3, and is expected to continue to weaken to perhaps a Category 1 before making landfall somewhere on the Yucatan Peninsula. And that landfall looks at the moment to be somewhere between Punta Allen and Punta Herrera, which are both south of Tulum. Of course, we know that the track can change, so we continue to monitor the storm, and we encourage you to do the same. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That's our motto. As this is our fifth update, we will also try to address some of the concerns raised by clients over the last few days and try to answer the most common questions. So I've lived in this area for 38 years, and I've been through many, many storms, including some of the worst in history, like Hurricane Gilbert and Hurricane Wilma. I find some of the TV coverage that I've been looking at to be very alarmist and, quite honestly, irresponsible. I urge you all to stay calm and follow the instructions of your local authorities, as well as following some more serious channels, and obviously that starts with the National Hurricane Center. As I've mentioned previously, I have 41 panels in my house, and I am not taking those panels down. Our anchoring and racking system is extremely secure, and we do not need to remove our panels. It's also a service that we simply couldn't offer to our 2,500 plus clients. So if you choose to either remove your panels yourself or have someone remove them, please follow the guidelines in our written manual. If you don't have that manual, please ask for a copy. We have it both in Spanish and in English. We continue to believe that the biggest risk in an event like this, the risk to your panels that is, are projectiles. So make sure that everything outside that could convert into a projectile is secured or removed, and obviously encourage all your neighbors to do the same thing. A lot of clients have asked me, hey Roger, what preparations are you making? So I'm going to share some of those with you. In my house, we have two hurricane protection systems. We have the more traditional accordion type shutters for our higher windows. They can be put into place very, very quickly. So we will be putting those in place before we go to bed tonight. We also have hurricane fabric, which protects our very large terrace, and that allows us to bring things from the outside onto the terrace, and they're protected. They take a little bit more time to put up, so we deployed those yesterday. We also have a couple of awnings with sunbrella material over higher windows. Those we have rolled up and secured, and we've also removed our fabric carport that's made of sunbrella material, because obviously that could flap around a lot in the wind and either get damaged or stretched or whatever, so we've taken that down. Several clients have asked us if they should switch off their system prior to the hurricane arriving. And of course you may choose to do that. If your power goes out, your system switches off anyway if you do not have a battery backup system. But obviously you, of course, can turn it off at the main solar breaker if you choose to do so, no problem at all. Just remember that when the power comes back and you have sun on your panels again, turn it back on so you're making green energy. For those with battery backup, we recommend getting into what is known as storm mode, which means full backup and reserving 100% of your battery's capacity for when and if the power goes out. Obviously, once you're on batteries, once you're off grid, you should monitor your energy use very carefully. Don't waste energy, conserve it, and remember that as soon as there is sun on the panels again, once the storm goes over, so this will be later on Friday, your batteries will be recharging and you'll be able to use that solar power as the sun comes onto your system. As promised, this is our battery-based system, and I have to say that it gives incredible peace of mind to me and my family, knowing that we're going to have power no matter what. Obviously, it was an important investment, but knowing that we're going to have power when the grid fails is incredibly reassuring. Any of you'd like information about that? Not today, obviously, but as we move forward over the next few weeks and months of this hurricane season, please let us know. We'll be happy to provide you with that information. For those with automatic backup generators, please remember the following important tips. If you haven't done so already, make sure your gas tank is at 80% or so. Also remember, these are backup generators. They're not intended for continuous use for days and days on end. The recommendation from Kohler, for example, is that after you've run the generator for about 8 to 10 hours, you should manually turn it off, let it cool down, dip the oil, check the oil levels, and once it has gone down to cool temperature, you can put it back into automatic. It will, if the grid's not back, it will restart and you'll have power again in your home. If your generator stops unexpectedly, then when it's safe to go outside, open the cover, have a look at the LCD screen, and take a note of what the error message is. And don't forcibly try to restart your generator without checking what that error code is in your owner's manual. Now, I know a lot of our clients have small portable generators, or they're planning on getting one before the storm comes in. This may sound ridiculous, but do not run a generator in an enclosed space because they produce exhaust and fumes and carbon monoxide, so it can be very dangerous. They need to run in a highly ventilated area. The other thing is, if you plan on just plugging things in, like fans or a fridge, into a portable generator, no problem. But if you're planning to feed the power from a portable generator into your fuse box, then make sure you turn off your solar system prior to doing that, because otherwise, if there's sun on the panels and you plug in a portable generator into your house feed, then what will happen is the solar system will believe the grid is back. It will start producing the power, and any extra power it will try to backfeed to a grid that is not there, and that means it will backfeed to your generator and it will kill your generator. So turn your solar off if you're using a manual generator. Much of the TV coverage that I've seen has, seen those classic shots of reporters bracing themselves against the wind and the wind flying in their faces. It is very irresponsible and very stupid behavior, if you ask me, somebody with 38 years of experience of dealing with hurricanes, because obviously if the wind's coming, a projectile could come as well, take out your eye, hit you on the head, severely injure or even kill you. So rule number one, do not go outside in a storm. I know that sounds childish advice, but please pay attention. Don't go outside during the storm. Things can fly around, trees can come down, cables can come down, etc. It's very irresponsible. Stay indoors. If the power goes out when the storm passes, be extremely careful when you go outside, because if you're in an area where there are overhead cables could be down that are medium tension that could still be live. So never touch cables that are on the ground. One of the things I will never forget about going through Hurricane Wilma was the response of the community following the storm. That storm lasted 60, 70 hours, and we were in Cancun at the time, and absolutely spontaneously, all the neighbors came out and started cleaning up the road. We cleaned branches and leaves and trees that had come down, etc. And the authorities were dealing with the bigger roads. We have a great community here. I'm sure there's going to be lots of lovely stories. If you have neighbors who are living on their own, perhaps people who are a bit vulnerable, they're older, etc., maybe not as mobile, please check in on them, make sure they're okay. Have a sense of community. We've said this before in previous bulletins, but your panels and everything else are just stuff, okay? And most of you I know have insurance policies. You, on the other hand, are irreplaceable. So there's nothing more important than your safety and the safety of your family. Just think about that. Don't take any silly risks. In closing, I'd like to say, please stay safe. Like we've said many times, the adage, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and stay calm. No one has ever made a good decision when they're in panic mode, okay? We've been through much worse. This area has proved to be incredibly resilient. So take good care. We will do another update for you tomorrow, and that will obviously be once the storm has already made landfall and is crossing over the peninsula, which should be a pretty quick process before it comes out the other side of the Gulf of Mexico. So take good care, and we'll see you soon.